We've generated thousands of replies on our Twitter go-to-market platform, and I'm going to show you how we did something similar and how that you can find better high-quality leads on Twitter, just like we did for the seven-figure AI SEO agency here. We were getting them at 1.50 to 70 replies every single week just through Twitter DMs alone on cold outreach. So I'm just going to get right into it. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go over to Scrapely's API documentation and scroll all the way down to the MCP server. Here you can go ahead and click onto this and then just follow these instructions. You're going to probably be using it inside of Claude Code or Codex. So just use this and just copy and paste this, get your API key inside of the settings. Going over here and then just click on the create key. I already have a demo key for this example, so I'm just going to show you this. It's just one line that you install and then it's already onto your computer and connected to your Scrapely account. So the first thing here is I'm just going to have an example of I'm trying to target cold email agencies, right? So let's say if you're trying to sell to them any kind of, maybe inbox solution, a better sequencer, better data, whatever that you want, right? A good thing would be to probably look at smaller accounts in the space that people are following, right? And we tend to see across like thousands of leads, just lead source in general that are different that we've scraped on our platform for our customers and then just on the self-serve plans as well. It tends to be better to scrape accounts that have a bit less followers. So let's say like 50,000 and less than, millions of followers that are really big names like Alex Hormozi, Elon Musk. Like there's just going to be millions of followers there. So it's going to be very, just like not very dense quality of followers, right? But you can still do that for sure, just if you have a kind of volume play, right? So here he's the founder of Premium Inboxes. They sell inboxes, right? So pretty simple example here. You can go ahead and take his followers. I'm going to tell Claude pretty simply, hey, create a scraping source for followers for at, and I want to filter for cold email agencies. So make the filters for that. This is just a very simple scrape here. If you've never done this before, this is really how to get from 0 to 1 really fast. The best thing that I would use is just Claude to start generating keywords, right? So let's say I go over here, I go over to leads. Let me move myself. New lead source, and then I'm going to put him over here, right? So Claude's going to do this for me, but what that I can do is go to the filters and then just start thinking of different things that I can do, right? So here it's already created, the filters, cold email, cold outbound, outbound agency, blah, blah, excluding, has a website, blah, blah. Okay, so pretty sure it's already made it. Yeah, so it's all already here, right? It's going to be scraping. These are keywords that you can use. And again, this is just a first pass. So normally if I'm just starting out something or I'm testing out how to make my filters and my lead quality better, because if you're sending only to like third world country leads, it's not going to be good, right? So that's something also that we just added inside of Scrapely. If you go to the lead sources, Claude didn't do this, but you can go over here, exclude, and then exclude third world countries. It's going to look at the real location that Twitter gives you. So if you go here, you'll see he's in the UK, but it'll look at their actual location, not just whatever that they put in the like location box, right? So that's really important because you're actually getting qualified leads that are not in just third world countries, right? So here it's going to start doing this already. I'm going to do this for Email Bison's founder. I'm going to come back once that these are done and we can start iterating upon it. Awesome. So here I put in some other accounts, Email Bison founder, who he's following, who are his followers, Instantly AI, the same thing, right? And I just put it back into Claude and said, hey, go ahead and check the actual lead source. And instead of filtering, because these only have like maybe 1,000, like 2,000, right? Like you can see the first filters that I put here weren't really that good because we only got 6 leads, but there's probably more, right? So it's the same kind of thing here. For the first one, I'm just going to go for a raw scrape. I'm going to give it 600 and say, just look at all of these. And based off this, how many estimate how many cold outbound agencies are even following Email Bison's founder, and then what are the keywords that they have, both include and exclude, that I can start using for future scrapes, right? Because this won't take that long for it. Boom, it's already done, already matched. Here's my breakdown of what an actual qualified agency owner, blah, blah, strong fits. So this one took 1,000. Okay, so basically like all of them, right? Not qualified. Okay, so now I'm going to ask it, hey, Claude, so inside of the filters, right, and their bio, what makes them qualified in terms of their keywords in their bio, both include and exclude? And then also, does having a website, does being blue verified, and do certain follower counts matter inside of their profile, inside of the qualified ones that you've just found? So now I can do this. going to wait. And it's just a cycle that I keep on improving upon. We do this for customers as well. So whenever that there's replies coming in, we'll have a first batch of leads for our very first campaigns with them. We'll send them out. Whoever starts replying, whether qualified or not, sometimes we'll have keywords that we didn't really think were unqualified, but they actually are, and vice versa, right? So there's a lot of things that you just have to look at in the data. First of all, I mean, just off the bat, I can see which ones are qualified and which ones aren't. And then second thing is I can also see, hey, based off the replies, are we getting more replies from unqualified people? What are the qualified people saying, etc. Right? Okay, boom. Omnichannel, performance basis, non-exclude keywords, 17 non-qualified people that slipped through. Better filters. Yes, please make a new source just based off these better filters. Boom. And then it'll probably make that. And after that it's done, I can run those same filters on instantly again, right? So same exact thing. I'm going to say also on these ones, I didn't exclude any third world countries. So I just wanted to make it really fast to get started with and not have to worry about location so much right now. But later on, as we do this, I'm going to obviously add that. This is really just a test to see, hey, how quick can we get this done? Okay, boom. So now we already have 25 that are qualified that I can just go ahead and check, right? So the same thing, these ones including, and then from here, these are probably all going to be outbound agencies that I want to actually talk to, right? And here we're already starting to do it on other profiles. So that way it's already done. I can just keep on asking it about how is the lead quality looking like? Are we putting too strict filters? So our filters, like we're getting 1,000 leads, but we're only getting like 6 back or something. There might be something wrong, or maybe it is just a bad lead source and we should find something else, right? So these are things that I just keep on asking Claude, especially with voice to text. I can go really fast and there's no limit to how much that you can start doing this, right? So there's some data. It's getting me cold calling, gaps, sign the filter, blah, blah. Yes, please. And do it for followers and following. That way we grab both. But this kind of campaign can also be if you look at the instantly founders, right? You scrape their followers, anybody who's following them or the actual instantly like main account, what I can do is just assume that they're probably running outbound or maybe even using instantly. And if we have a better sequencer, better lead source, whatever, then I can just pitch that, right? So that's also something that somebody could do is you don't need like cold outbound agencies in this case, even though they're just following instantly, you already know that they're in that sphere, especially if they follow instantly and smart lead or something, right? That is really good to do. So it already created it, 21 channel terms, it's already running. Let me just refresh here. Boom. Okay, so now it's going to be doing this with updated filters. It's going to be doing an and one. So this one is like, it must have cold email and book a call or I help or we build. So like one of those two, right? So these ones I don't normally use that much, but yeah, this is like how do we really nail down our ICP, and we're going to get less leads, but it's going to be a lot better quality. So the response rate, that's why like we're getting 2-3% plus response rate for customers, just because it's a lot more targeted and you don't have to run up as much volume simply because people on Twitter are just going to be more likely to accept. The positive response rate is like 42% plus is what we're getting right now across customers. So again, Twitter is a really good channel for this go-to-market stuff. And you can do this with leads. Then once you have people in the CRM, analyze who came from what kind of lead source, from what kind of campaign. Based off that, what kind of campaign should we be running more, right? This is something that we do internally and it works really well. By the way, here's how I'm just finding more of these as I pause and unpause the video to not make it too long. Is I just look at people and I'm like, okay, so outbound. So if I go back, Eric Nowoslawski, he's pretty much like very well known in the space. So I'll just go to who that he's following. I'll just keep on scrolling down, right? Lead gen affiliate, outbound demand, co-founder of MailScale, smart lead, right? You can just keep on going, just putting these in, right? So once that I've mapped out like 80% of the market, at least on Twitter, now I'll pretty much have everybody, and then I can start segmenting them by like who that they follow, and then put in the message, hey, that saw that you follow Eric, blah blah blah, right? These are the things that really work, especially when like you infer that they're going to be interested in something. So if it's like, hey, saw that you follow instantly, so you're probably running cold emails, blah blah, right? It's like a really good signal that you already get just by default because you're scraping followers anyways on Twitter, so you're going to be getting already a signal of whether they're interested in, right? So these are just things that I do. Go here, who that he's following, keep on going down. Probably Levi. I can also scrape, other agency owners, right? You can just find them. Boom, boom. Same thing. Founder of Smart Lead also follows Levi. So probably a lot of agency owners and SaaS founders follow him. So pretty good source to scrape, right? Okay, so these seems to have finished pretty much all of them. So I just asked Claude, hey, check them done. Are they all quality? You're just going to start checking and then telling us, hey, like how actually good is it, right? So for this one specifically, the ICP is really narrow. So because of that, there's not going to be that many leads that we're going to get. Like it's just cold email or cold outbound agencies that I'm trying to target. But for you, it might be like we have a customer, Kissmetrics. They're an analytics platform, so like from first click all the way to close, and LTV is like what that they're tracking, and they can help e-commerce companies, SaaS companies, and the SaaS companies can be PLG SaaS companies all the way to enterprise SaaS companies. So they have like a really big pool of leads that they can pull from, and because of that, it makes our job a lot easier because we don't have to target for only agencies who run cold email or like most agencies that are doing outbound, like 99% of them are doing cold email and maybe some LinkedIn or some cold calling, but it's pretty much just cold email agencies, right? So that's who I'm trying to find. So yeah, Claude is giving me a summary. What is the hit rate, stuff like that. So the filter quality check, boom. Okay. So zero Charlie leads, Eric Nosowski, much higher quality density, blah, blah, blah. Cool, cool. So overall, the filters are much cleaner. The remaining issue is that it can catch signals in the website field, but blah, blah, the quality is probably way better. Okay, cool, yeah. So you see how at the start, we scraped him who had like 3,000 followers and got 6 leads all the way down now to like Eric has like 4,000 something and we got 80 leads, right? So it's like a 4x plus increase in efficiency just from us nailing down on the filters. And I think manually, like we've already targeted cold email agencies on Twitter, so I already know the filters. But this is how I'm showing as an example how you would go from 0 to like 1 and actually know what kind of filters to use, right? Also, Claude's not going to get it perfect all of the time, but it's a good guiding filter of like this keyword obviously is bad. Like if you put crypto or Web3 or something, like a lot of people on Twitter, if they're in the SaaS space, they will follow other crypto people. So they'll have a lot of followers that are in DeFi, crypto, NFT, blah, blah, blah. So those keywords really screw it up if you just don't have those in exclude. So that's why for the campaigns that we run for those, we exclude NFT, DeFi, all of those ones, right? So hopefully that makes sense. If you want to try out Scrapely, then book a demo and I can show you more how that it will work for you specifically. If you're a SaaS company or agency that wants to use this for their own clients, then we can also talk about that. But yeah, hopefully that was valuable. And that is how you can basically use Claude Code in less than 10 minutes and really get to nail down your perfect ICP on Twitter.